Now, it's time for Tech Talk brought to you by Refresh Computers with your host, David Levitt.
Hey there, and welcome to a special edition of Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's News and Talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Levitt, president and founder of the Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. And we're live here from Lake Eola for Fall Fiesta on the Park. That's right, we are coming to you live right here at Lake Eola, right there at the corner of Robinson and Eola. So if you do want to come on and stop by, it's a beautiful Saturday out here at Lake Eola. We'd love to see you. We'd love to talk to you. Ask any questions that you might have about computers out here. If you have any questions for us, again, you can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. And today, you can actually go ahead and give us a call here on the live show at 844-580-WDBO. That's 844-580-9326. You can also check out their website over at refreshcomputers.net or stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Those store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, it means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. today. But hopefully, before you stop by there, you stop by and check us out here at Lake Eola for a beautiful Saturday, right, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. Gorgeous day out here at Lake Eola, and we're so happy to be here live because it's kind of a rare thing now for us to do the show live, which actually, if you're listening and, you know, I want to hear from my customers today. If you get a chance, maybe call in, share some experiences that you had with Refresh Computers during this hour between 2 and 3 p.m. and live, if you're listening anyway, November 1st, Saturday, between 2 and 3 p.m., because the show repeats itself on Sundays, and we're not going to be live on that day. So if you're hearing us on Sunday between 8 and 9 a.m., it's not live.
But Fall Fiesta will still be going on.
That's
it's
right.
A great weekend event down here at Lake Eola. It's supposed to be another beautiful weather day tomorrow. But if you're here live on Saturday, come and stop by and say hi.
I don't think they could have picked somebody couldn't have picked a better day.
Somebody paid for this weather, right? Somebody.
There hasn't been this kind of weather at this time of year. Probably, I think I heard about 30 years now.
It's 30 years. Cassandra Crimmy was saying yesterday it was the coolest Halloween weather in 30 years. Yeah, beautiful weather this weekend.
Hey, so Greg, if somebody wants to call in because people aren't used to calling us because we're usually not live, can you give that phone number again? We'll keep repeating that too throughout the show.
Absolutely. That's going to be 844-580-9326. It's 844-580-WDBO. If you're a customer, a repeat customer, somebody who's gone back multiple times, or even if it's your first time with Refresh Computers, we'd love to hear about your experience because we know it's A+. We know your feedback is going to be A+ service when it comes to Refresh Computers.
Well, we appreciate that very much. And so Adam put together show notes like Adam does just about every week for us, and because Adam's he's right on top of everything.
I try to stay up to date as much as I can with tech because everything changes so fast now with technology. If you look back 5 years ago, the progress we have made is more than what has been made 20 years ago.
Well, there were rumors there for the longest time. They're like, "Oh, we've reached the cap. This is as quickly as tech is going to be able to ever evolve moving forward." And then it seems like overnight, we're now seeing, again, all of these advancements with AI, the
quantum
new chips.
Computers.
Yep, we talked about that last week, quantum computing and things. So
having a lot of stuff now, like focused on the cloud, which is off-handling, intensive, processes on computers to more powerful computers.
On the cloud.
On the cloud,
Which I remember not too long ago, right? It seemed like yesterday you were I was afraid to have stuff on the cloud, because I was like, oh no, I have to have everything local on my computer. I can't trust the cloud. What is that?
Really, when I first heard about it back when I was in middle and high school, hearing cloud storage and everything, I just thought of it just a hard drive in the air, just away from my computer. That's all it's ever going to be for. Now you can do Photoshop where it actually is processing on a much more powerful machine, video editing, it's almost endless of what you can do with the cloud now.
Well, and look at the other thing too with the cloud is we've become so dependent upon it, we don't even realize how dependent we are.
Yeah.
Because check out AWS.
Yeah, the whole AWS outage that just happened.
That's Amazon's web services.
Their entire cloud service that, a lot of services we've noticed I believe it was October 20th. That's when the outage happened.
Yeah.
There were a lot of services that got interrupted. And I mean things like Netflix. We saw Slack, Reddit, DoorDash. So many different services use Amazon Cloud Services now.
And even when Amazon said that they found the cause and they repaired it, there was residual effects going on for days.
Yeah, this went from just a little tiny bug to an entire database being just entirely unable to be located to the system, and there was so much more that just fell apart because of that.
And just in case you're not aware, it's like I think Amazon is the largest cloud service, the largest provider of servers.
Yeah.
Probably in the world, definitely right here in the United States. The military depends on them. The U.S. government, in many ways, depends on Amazon.
So if your online news services included, I know that we're an AP subscriber with WDBO, and one of those, they were one of the major ones that we were unable to get our AP updates and things like that throughout the shows. Retail services, they're at checkout and trying to utilize your card for payment, all of those kinds of things all lead back to AWS.
I remember back when Amazon used to go on their website, you could buy books. Now you can buy anything on Amazon. You've got cloud services that they have expanded so much more, and really, I think they kind of saw the future of where we were going with the cloud, honestly.
Well, and, talk a little bit so people understand just how simple the problem was.
Yeah.
It was a very minor thing that happened that caused a major outage.
It was a minor code bug that has been in AWS's systems for about as long as it's been around, that whoever first made that code never thought it'd be an issue. And it was just a very simple bug that ended up causing the, I believe it was the DNS, which for any listeners that don't know what the DNS is to the internet, it's basically your phone book. It tells you what websites are where. And when this bug happened with the DNS, it ended up erasing an entire database that's been used by primarily most services that use AWS. And this whole database that ended up getting wiped out not only caused a lot of services to come to a screeching halt, that actually offloaded a lot of the strain, I guess I'd say, on their services off to other locations in their area that does not need that heavy of a load. So other things started falling apart instead. It was kind of like almost a domino effect.
And the estimated cost of all this?
The estimated losses, let me see, I put that here.
I think like $5 billion.
About $5 billion globally. And this was interruptions to United Airlines businesses. This was something I even think locally businesses were impacted by this because credit card processors were having trouble connecting. I know I was seeing I believe it was Lyft. Alexa, anytime you tried to talk to your Alexa, it would just say, I'm having connection issues right now. And that's all it would ever say. Nothing else. So, it like you said, it really goes to show how much we're starting to rely on the cloud now.
Very dependent, especially when stuff like AI is coming on strong. And I remember the first show we did on AI, Greg, I don't think you were with us back when we did the first AI show. It was probably at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. But AI was just becoming a thing, and people were you were just rarely hearing about it.
Right.
But we did a whole show on it. Maybe you can find that on our podcast too, by the way, by going to refreshcomputers.net. Right there at the top of the page, you click on the podcast, and you can hear shows we've done over the last 3 years or so. We've been doing the podcast version. So this show turns into a podcast at the end of the day on Saturday. So you can go up there and check out this show and any show.
And again, just a reminder, we are live today.
That's
so
right.
If you do have a question, you wanted to call in, go ahead and give us a call, 844-580-9326. It's 844-580-WDBO. Again, we'd love to hear your feedback about Refresh Computers, or if you've got any tech questions or any AI questions. All these conversations we've had about AI, if you still have some questions that you're not really sure about, we'd love to kind of tackle those for you here live on the air. And if you happen to be heading on your way down to Lake Eola, go ahead and stop by the tent.
Right.
We'd love to see you. We're all here, and we'd love to say hi.
Is this an extra mic I see here?
That's an extra mic, so if you did want to get on the radio with us, that's even an option. I mean, I'll vet you before we go live. Like even this guy's standing behind me. I'll have to double check him.
Yeah, there's some crazy-looking guy standing behind me.
That's our good friend Larry Perry, who's already here, the Master Mechanic Show. He'll be live with us here as well from Lake Eola. But again, if you wanted to come by and stop by, corner of Robinson and Eola today. But I know we've got a lot of other tech topics to get to today as well.
The main thing with this AWS outage to me, though, is 90% of people don't even know what AWS is. They don't even know why Netflix wasn't loading October 20th.
And all these people and entities relied so much on Amazon.
Yeah. There is so much that we rely on now in the cloud that I don't even really think we fully see on face level. How much we rely on Amazon, definitely, for cloud services. AI now, NVIDIA is becoming, the bull in the corner of the entire AI suite. So, now we're going to be looking at NVIDIA for anything AI related.
Well, one of my favorite Jeff Bezos stories is the interview he did, I think it was on the Letterman show. I mean, way back when he was just starting to open up warehouses across the country,
as Amazon was getting away from just books.
As they were just getting away from just books, he was becoming on his way, or was already, the world's richest man because of the value of the stocks that he owned in his own company. And the fact, though, is, and what he bragged about, and I actually loved, and don't hate me for this, but he bragged on the fact that he never made a profit. Yeah, he just didn't make a profit. And this went on for years, and I don't know if he's making a profit today, to tell you the truth, because how can a company so big and that takes in all that money not make a profit? Well, I'll tell you how, just like a small company can do. And basically, you reinvest in that money into your business, so you're buying more inventory. You're opening up warehouses all over the country. Those are costs of doing business, which you deduct from your bottom line. So at the end of the year, hey, I didn't make any money this year, but I've spent $10 billion doing stuff. You know what? Oh gosh, I can't. I'm not sure how many more of these warehouses I'm going to be opening up all over the country. I'm talking about Bezos with Amazon. So why don't we go ahead and build a rocket ship? I mean, hey, yeah. It just, and then why don't we get into the cloud server business? And so they did that several years ago. And so, they just reinvesting, and the company's worth more and more and more and more, and which means, of course, Jeff Bezos is worth more and more and more. Yeah. So that's just the story there. But anyhow. Greg, do we have time to get into another subject, or we want to touch on it and take a break?
Let's go ahead and give a little sneak preview, and then we'll head into break, and we'll tackle it here coming outside of that.
It's about Apple.
Yep.
Okay, and and the thing is, if you know me well enough, you know that I absolutely cannot stand the manufacturing process of Apple. And I've hated it. I just have severely disliked it, at least, for many, many years. And we'll get into even another reason why after this break.
You're listening to Tech Talk right here on WDBO as we come to you live from Lake Eola. Go ahead and give us a call here, 844-580-9326, for a special live show from Lake Eola for Fall Fiesta in the park right here on WDBO. Hey there, and welcome back to a special edition of Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and M580, Orlando's News and Talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Levitt, president and founder of the Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. And we're live here from Lake Eola for Fall Fiesta on the park. If you wanted to give us a call here, go and call the numbers 844-580-9326. We'd love to hear about your experiences with Refresh Computers, or if you have any tech questions that you'd like to get off your chest, we'd love to hear about those as well. But you can also call this Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. Don't forget to check out their website over at refreshcomputers.net as well. And now back to David and Adam.
All right, thanks, Greg, and thanks everybody for listening to a live edition of Tech Talk with Refresh Computers out here at Lake Eola. Fall Fiesta in the park, I guess it's called, right?
Fall Fiesta in the park, the 54th annual Fall Fiesta in the park. So quite a history going on now.
And I think the first time I came out here with WDBO was maybe 16 years ago. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
It's just we've been on the radio, I think, about 18 or 19 years now, and not nearly as long as the guy you're going to hear next on WDBO, Mr. Larry Perry, sitting over here across from us. I think he's been here forever. Anyhow, we were talking about the first segment, Amazon and their web service, Amazon Web Services. and the fact that they're owned by the richest guy in the world, one of the richest men in the world, whose company never made a profit.
Yeah.
So Amazon, it's true.
It is, yeah.
And so, but anyhow, it's by design too. And then we left off just before the break about Apple and just how cheap they're getting in their manufacturing process. I mean, you've heard me complain. If you listen to this show regularly, you've heard me complain about their cheap manufacturing process for the last several years. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. It's like they're making these very high-end electronic toys with a lot of glue and
let me just say, Dave, he uses an iPhone as his daily phone, so this isn't like he's just talking all of this because he hates it. He does use one of their devices still as his daily phone.
I do, and the iPhone's not so bad, but I'm talking about like MacBooks, for example,
and the iPads. Actually, I know the newer ones.
Yeah, but especially the MacBooks. I mean, come on, Apple. You stopped making memory replaceable and solid-state drives replaceable several years ago. Shame on you. I mean, because, the first thing that's going to go in your laptop is probably going to be either your memory or probably more than likely your solid-state drive.
Yeah.
So, you can't replace it because it's soldered onto the motherboard.
It makes for a very disposable machine, a very expensive disposable machine, mind you. These MacBooks, they're brand new. What are they running right now? 1,600, I think, the MacBook Pros.
At least,
yeah.
And and the thing, you hit the nail on the head there, Adam, when you said disposable. I mean, because the repairability of these things, are almost non-existent now. Yeah. Almost. I mean, to try to take apart a new MacBook now to replace the battery, what you have to go through, you can't even replace just the battery now.
No, most Apple or older Apple laptops and Dell and HP are very good on this. Used to use just screws to anchor the battery into the body.
Right.
Little tiny screws that would just go in, 4 or 5 of them. Apple has opted instead to just start going for glue. Let's just start throwing glue at it until it stops rattling.
More and more glue.
Yeah.
Which means what? If you have to work on one, try to get that glue apart. I mean, you have to have a special heat gun. It can't be too hot because you're going to damage the components inside to separate the glue. Anyhow, I know we're at a hard break right now, Greg, so let's go ahead and pause this, and we'll get back after the break. We'll pick up on this and some deals.
Yeah, we'll pick right back up on this conversation about Apple, and you don't want to miss these deals coming up in the next segment. Again, we're live here from Lake Eola at Fall Fiesta on the Park. Over 200 exhibitors, vendors out here today. They'll be out here today and tomorrow, but you're listening live right now to Tech Talk on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome to a special edition of Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Levitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. And we're coming to you live from Lake Eola today. We're here at Fall Fiesta in the park at Lake Eola, and we're right here at Robinson and Eola. So you happen to see the WDBO tent, come in and stop by, say hey, and maybe you can get a chance to be on the radio as well if you've got a question for us here as well. But again, we're here for Fall Fiesta in the park, Lake Eola, in the center of downtown Orlando. The park hours for this event, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. today and tomorrow. So we've got Saturday and Sunday that you can spend time out here. But we're only live here on Saturday. So if you get a chance, go ahead and stop by. We'd love to see you. Again, if you wanted to contact the Refresh Computer Superstore, you can go ahead and call their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200, or you can call in, again, for a special live show. You can call 844-580-9326. That's 844-580-WDBO. If you'd love to share your experiences with Refresh Computers, we'd love to hear about that. You can also check out the website over at refreshcomputers.net, or stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Those store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you're listening to the show again here on Saturday, that means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. today, but on your way, go ahead and stop by. We'd love to see you here at Lake Eola for Fall Fiesta in the park. And now back to David and Adam.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers, this live edition on the 1st of November.
Yep.
Between 2 and 3 p.m. today, we're going to be here. And, we were talking a lot about Amazon and their outage. We were talking about Apple and how cheap their manufacturing process has gotten, and, where they don't make their computer, or at least their laptops.
Yeah.
They're not very repair friendly, let's just put it that way.
Very disposable for their price mark, really.
Yeah, especially for that. But one thing I do admire, though, is their CEO. I do, Tim Cook. I mean, the guy has got some gray matter. The guy, think about it. Who he took that over from?
Yeah.
Who did he succeed?
Yeah, Steve Jobs is the end-all, be-all when it comes to a lot of people when it comes to tech CEOs.
They were some big reins for him to pick up.
They were huge, and he's still there. He's still leading the company. I don't agree with everything that they do, obviously, but look what he has steered through, what he has just in the last few years. We were talking just last week, Greg, about the chip shortage and why there's a chip shortage, and it's like, you could see this coming for quite some time, though. You could see it coming. So he took steps to make sure that Apple was going to be okay. And they are.
And Apple's processors are really good, too.
They're awesome, and they use some of the same rare earth material that other processors and things that they use. But he saw something coming. He planned for it. And, and you don't hear about Apple suffering from this chip shortage, do you? I haven't at all. And so I give him Tim Cook a lot of credit for doing that. So
the thing that really gets me with Apple too is with their laptops now, with their new processors that they make in house, the battery life you're seeing on those laptops is a day's worth of use, and it's only down to 50%, 40%. Whereas on most Windows-based computers, you can see anywhere between what would you say, 2 to 6 hours normally two on a battery charge?
Yeah, it depends on the model. Yeah.
So just how power efficient Apple has made it too.
Well, because they're so cheap and light, I guess. I don't know, but and there's and Apple was the first company too that actually molded their battery to fit the device. Yeah, which was unheard of. That was Steve Jobs. So that was back with the original iPhone. People were like, the engineers were like, we can't get the battery to fit. He said, what do you mean you can't get the battery to fit? Yeah. You got lots of room in there for a battery. You just got to mold your stuff around it.
Yeah. And now they're making thinner and thinner devices too. They keep getting thinner every year.
Yeah,
I think phone bump's the biggest thing on any more of these phones.
Yeah,
right?
the phone bump. Yeah, which primarily the phone has most of the largest screws. I want to say, I always drag on Apple because they always use glue, and I'll say it. Even glue is lighter than a screw. So that's doing that, it's going to make it lighter.
It does, and save. When you're making millions of a device, you can save 10 or 20 cents on screws. Yeah, for times millions. And that adds up. And
what I've liked with their devices, at least, is you kind of have an idea of how long you're going to have software support for. Apple has had a very good schedule that, you can have a device for this certain amount of years. You'll stop getting the latest version, but you still get more support even after that for a couple years. And that has always been a thing with Apple. Whereas, look at Windows right now with what just happened with Windows 10.
Well, good segue into what we need to talk about. We haven't talked about today, and I don't know if we even talked about it much last week, Greg, was, if you're still on Windows 10 and you're connecting to the Internet, stop. Yeah. Get off. You are, you're going on your bank account. There's a good possibility that there's some evil people out there that's also getting into your bank details and able to.
And every day we go on, the more that risk becomes, because that gives people more time to dig into this now depreciated operating system that's not receiving security updates. They can find vulnerabilities. It's only a matter of time now.
That's right. And so, but if you are using a laptop or a computer that you have a device connected to, we talked about this too, where it's not dependent on the Internet.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Just keep on using it.
Yeah, we have businesses that are still using XP, Windows 7 exclusively offline for a very, very specific machine that costs millions to replace. So you're not going to replace that.
It's the brains of a $200,000 or $300,000 piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So, but it's still working.
Yeah.
So
it almost gives a weird feeling of planned obsolescence to me with how Windows 10 was slowly pushed out the door, but it didn't feel so slow. There wasn't a date until, I believe, just the beginning of this year when most updates you were given, I'd say maybe a year and a half to two, where they started saying, hey, it's time to start thinking about the new one. But Windows 11 was so different with the hardware requirements, too. And that's what's caused a lot of disruption for a lot of people right now.
That's right. So, and if you haven't upgraded your computer or laptop to a Windows 11 machine, give us a call because maybe it's upgradable.
Yeah.
And we can help you out over the phone, and it probably wouldn't even cost you anything. I mean,
I've had tons of people call us that say, hey, I just bought a new computer, and it's on Windows 10. I don't know how to upgrade it, and we have no problem walking you through how to do it. We can help you do it as well if you bring it into the store. That, I think it's still odd to me that I'm seeing new computers that people are receiving with Windows 10 on them.
Yeah,
and that's from big box stores. That's not from third party.
Because that's the way they went out the door.
Exactly.
And they have that licensing agreement with Microsoft, so that's what they have to put on them when they. That's the license that's on them.
And
but they're upgradable to Windows 11. So if you're not sure, the phone number is 407-478-8200. Give us a call. And we can tell you over the phone, really, if your computer or laptop's upgradable to Windows 11, and it's still free, right, Adam?
It is still free right now. Yes,
but for now, that's the key. For now, it's still free.
So if you've hesitated, or maybe you just you don't want to take the time to do it, or you don't have the time to do it, you don't know how to do it. Give us a call or come by the store. Just drop on by. We'll help you out. Bring your laptop, bring your desktop. You can leave all your cables at home. Just bring that desktop in. We got all the stuff to connect to it, and we can check it out for you and get you up to a Windows 11 if it's Windows 11 capable. If not, we have lots of product in the store.
For really good prices, too. It is not that bad to really upgrade them, replace the machine to go to Windows 11, because the upgrades right now we've been seeing to get the computer Windows 11 ready, especially with the chip shortage, you are completely over the value of what that machine's even worth.
It's crazy. And, we've helped, we stocked up for this. I mean, because I saw this coming, a year ago, practically. That Windows 10 is expiring, and there were a year ago there were still 700 or 800 million users on Windows 10. And back in July, we checked at them, and there were 400 or 500 million users still on Windows 10.
Yeah, and a good portion of that were not able to upgrade to Windows 11. The systems were not capable, so that's a lot of e-waste. That's a lot of requirements now for people to have to replace these devices that, a long time ago, Windows 10 was supposed to be the last big Windows, or the last numbered Windows, they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
And then 11 came out.
That's right.
So I guess 11's not actually a number then.
Now you're on to something.
Yeah.
That's a little bit deeper than I think this show's able to go into, though. But if you wanted to stop by and talk a little Windows 10, we are right here in Lake Eola this afternoon, here at the corner of Eola and Robinson for Fall Fiesta in the Park at Lake Eola. Over 200 exhibitors, crafters, artists, food trucks, all around the park, and you can check in with us because we'll be doing our shows live here until 3 p.m., and then we've got the Master Mechanic coming up right after that. So we'd love to be able to see you. Come and stop by. Go ahead and give us a little chit-chat about some of these great Windows 10 deals that we're about to show you here in just coming up right now, I think.
That's right. Yeah. So, we have all kinds of good deals.
We've got great deals on machines right now, but the main thing, again, is Windows 11. The support is gone.
Yep.
It is time to start possibly thinking about moving on.
It's gone for 10.
Because emails have gone out. I know they have for Windows 10 extended security updates, but you're really just pushing back the inevitable. And if you forget that you gave yourself that year, and you put yourself out a year later, and you don't even know you're not receiving them again, you don't know what kind of pitfall you're stuck in.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier too, we're still getting calls every day. Gosh, do I really have to upgrade to Windows 11? And then now we're saying, oh, you haven't upgraded yet, because I hope you're not connecting to the internet, because that's going to be that's going to be an issue. If you treasure your photos, your videos. I mean, the people with these crypto lockers will get in on your...
I was about to say ransomware. That's going to be one of the biggest things I think that we'll see a problem with at some point because of these computers connected to the internet. All you got to do is download the wrong file once, and that could be it. Everything could be gone.
Yeah, so literally Microsoft has put on their blinders to any kind of security updates unless you're going to pay for it, right? You can pay for another year. It's $30, I think, right?
Yeah, I think $30 for the 1 year extension.
But check out the website, refreshcomputers.net. Look at all the laptops, all the desktop computers we have on there. And I'm not kidding. I stocked up like crazy. And I will say, and as you may assume, or you may have already thought, we're selling more than we've sold in a long time. I mean, a lot of sales right now. And there's two reasons, primarily. One is Windows 10 is expiring. And we couldn't sell so many if I didn't have so many. So,
and that's the thing. We have so much stock right now that is we are turning it out as fast as we're able to basically process it and just have it ready.
It's we've gone through the whole process of refurbishing what we do, and it's truly a quality refurbished computers. I mean, just because somebody says it's refurbished, it's not Refresh Computers refurbished.
Most refurbished on the internet, when you see that means they wiped the dust off of it, they made sure it turned on, no information was on it, and they sent it out the door to you. That's all most places do, but we go the step further.
You guys take the in-depth steps. So we're talking about reseating processors. We're talking about changing out full hard drives. You're not giving them the same old hard drive.
They get brand new solid-state drives.
Brand new fresh install of Windows.
Yeah.
Brand new
without the bloatware. You're not getting all those extras that you don't need that you find when you buy those computers at those big box stores that might still have Windows 10. Then you have to go through the process of getting updated. No, you get a fresh install of Windows 11. No bloatware straight away. No downtime.
That's right. And new thermal paste on the CPU, which has to happen every 3, 4, 5 years. And so new thermal paste on the CPU, new CMOS batteries on the motherboards. So we do all this.
The best comparison I've got is, you look at a used car, we're doing a coolant flush, an oil flush. We've got everything done on these machines that they need done.
And you've been listening to Tech Talk right here, live, coming to you live from Lake Eola. If you have any questions, go ahead and give us a call here, 844-580-9326. Again, Tech Talk live from Lake Eola on WDBO. Hey there, and welcome back to a special edition of Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's News and Talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Levitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. And we're coming to you live today from Lake Eola for Fall Fiesta in the Park. A beautiful Saturday out here. If you get a chance, come on out. You'll be able to see all these great vendors that are available. Food and drinks, and there's music, and there's a kids area that you can go and hang out with the little ones with. We've got the mini cheesecake people back. Me and Larry know a lot about the little mini cheesecake people. We'll talk about them later on.
I heard you guys talk about them last year.
And I'm going to talk about them again this year. But yes, no. So again, Fall Fiesta in the Park right here, Lake Eola. And we're at Eola and Robinson. So if you see the WDBO tent, come in, stop by, say, hey, we'd love to hear from you. And again, it's just if you had any other questions for the Refresh Computer Superstore, you can always contact that free tech support hotline. This is one of those numbers that you put off on the side. Maintain that number. Write it on a little sticky note and stick it to your computer, because that's the number that you're going to need. That's going to be 407-478-8200 for the Refresh Computer Superstore free tech support hotline. You can also check out their website over at refreshcomputers.net to check out all those deals that they have available if you need to upgrade that Windows 10 PC you've got. But now back to David and Adam as we kind of wrap up the show here at Lake Eola.
That's right. It's been a beautiful day here. It's still a beautiful day here at Lake Eola. And we're coming to you live here on WDBO, and I'm just happy to be here again at Lake Eola doing the show. So, we were talking.
We didn't have Adam in the spring.
We did not.
Out in the spring, so we're happy to have Adam out here. What do you think of it?
Different.
What do you think of it?
Yeah. I like it. This is actually really nice, especially with the weather.
This is the way to do a radio show.
It is, yes.
Definitely the way to do
a
radio show. Out in the air, got open air. It's just nice. You can breathe. The weather's beautiful. So, anyhow, folks, we talked a lot about technology today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. We talked about Amazon, basically. Gosh, I started to say something that I can't say on the radio. Let's just say they took one, and they took a hit, and they bounced back, of course, and as
Amazon always seems to do.
Yeah, well, and I think for the first time, maybe there were people that we've got to understand just how big Amazon is and what they mean in the computing world these days, especially for cloud storage and stuff like that.
The same thing with Microsoft and Windows now, with Windows 10 support being gone, Windows 11 being the main and only supported OS with Windows currently for generalized personal computers.
That's right.
We've got a bunch of them at the store right now. I believe Windows 11. What would you say our starting price is for those systems right now?
Right around $200.
Yeah.
For a Windows 11 laptop or desktop.
And
right in that neighborhood. $200, $220, $250. We get them in. We have $3,000 laptops if you're into that.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you're looking at the computers from big box stores, you're looking at quadruple digits on some of those systems now. They are getting expensive brand new. And, our refurbished computers, they're refurbished to be like new.
Right.
They are really good machines.
And I invite you to go to the website, refreshcomputers.net. Right there you can search for all different types of things there. You can search for size, what size solid state drive, how much RAM, what size screen on the laptop. You can search and sort by all these things. And if you have any questions, we got that same free tech support hotline. You can give us a call at 407-478-8200, and somebody will be able to help you out right there over the phone.
We can also try to help give you some suggestions. You tell us what you use the computer for.
That's right.
We can. We actually have our own ID numbers on the systems we can give you, and that'll bring it right up on the website too. So that's definitely something we can help you with over the phone.
And we just love to do that.
Yep.
We love hearing from our customers, and I guess that's the end of the show today for us. And so stay tuned for Larry Perry. He's standing right here in front of me. He's going to be here live taking your calls. So this is David Levitt with Refresh Computers. We're signing off right here at Lake Eola. We'll be talking to you again next week.